Good morning, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful black people. I hope that all is well in your world and this day becomes a very, very successful day for you and all of your wonderful, wonderful loved ones. My beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters, I will reiterate again that there is and there is a genetic defect. There is a genetic defect in some of those white folks. Some of those white folks absolutely cannot distinguish. They cannot rationalize with using common sense and reason to determine that there is a difference between what they have the power and authority to do versus what they should do. A good example of that is when that racist, lowlife, white cop shot Rayshard Brooks in the back twice. The black man is running away from you. You pull out your gun and shoot the black man in the back, killing him. The black man was sleeping in his car. He had not committed a crime. He may have been drinking. I don't even know that, because I don't believe anything that white folks say about black folks, about people that look like me. Especially, I question everything that a white cop say regarding black folks, regarding a black victim, because there is a standard procedure among those white racist cops. They will always initiate a program that will try to blame the black person that they just murdered for their own murder. It's standard procedure right here on this plantation called America, and it is endemic in the 18,000 police forces that we have on this plantation called America. They will consistently, and they're very persistent about it, trying to blame the black man for his own death. They attempted to do it in the George Floyd public lynching, but that was squashed immediately by the mayor, the attorney general, etc., etc. Had the mayor and the attorney general not taken their positions, the district attorney, the prosecutors would have initiated a plan to blame George Floyd for his own death. That's what they attempted to do with Rayshard Brooks a few days ago. But that will not work because the mayor of Atlanta jumped on that right away, showing the rest of us and the world that what that white cop did in murdering Rayshard Brooks was unwarranted. There was no reason for Rayshard Brooks to die that night. When white racist cops show up with guns, the situation is automatically escalated. And get this, and understand this, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. When racist white cops show up on a scene where black folks are involved, that situation is automatically escalated at the sight of these racist white cops with guns. Because if you're black and living in America, you are in a rage most of the time. You are stressed to the nth degree. You are loaded with anxieties. You are fearful of even leaving your home because you might be discriminated against. You might be racially profiled. Or you might be killed by a racist white cops. Similar to what just happened to Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta, Georgia. Look at what happened to Botham Jean in Houston, to Eric Garner in New York City, to Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, to Tamir Rice in Cleveland, Ohio, to Sandra Bland somewhere in Texas, to George Floyd in Minneapolis, Minnesota, to Rayshard Brooks in Atlanta, Georgia, to Ahmaud Arbery in Brunswick, Georgia, to Trayvon Martin in Florida, to Alton Sterling in Louisiana, and to Orlando Castillo in Minnesota. The white cops showed up in all of those circumstances. The situation escalated, and the white cop pulled out a gun and shot the unarmed black man, a black woman, black child dead. Just like they did Rayshard Brooks a few days ago. When white cops show up with guns, the situation is automatically escalated because of the presence of those racist white cops. Black folks, people like me, are always in a rage. We're always in a rage, fearing for our lives, especially when white cops and white folks show up with guns, because we already know that they devalue us, that they hate us, that they want to eliminate us. We already know that they have an insatiable appetite for black death. They have an addiction for black death, black suffering. Black death and black suffering is like crack cocaine to these racist white folks. They get high. They get high off of killing black folks. They get high off of witnessing, inflicting suffering, pain onto black folks. It is endemic in the culture of white folks. The ignorance, the disrespect of white cops toward black folks, people that look like me, is an endemic in the culture, in the police culture, my beautiful, intelligent black brothers and sisters. The ignorance, the disrespect of white cops toward black folks is endemic in the police culture. Police unions are the infestation of white rage. Police unions are the infestation of white supremacy. The police unions are the infestation of fear of black folks. The police unions are the infestation of devaluing black life, etc., etc. The police unions use targets of pictures of black folks for target practice. That's what they do. Police unions propagate the narrative that black folks must be killed. That when you interact with black folks, you must be disrespectful, you must be forceful, you must act like an enemy, you must act like you are a warrior and that black skin is armed and dangerous. That's what these police, that's the police culture. That's what they learn. That's what they are taught. Punk ass white boy mayors like Mayor de Blasio of New York City. Punk ass white boy mayors like Mayor de Blasio of New York City. These punk ass local, state, white politicians, Republicans by the way, these punk ass, racist ass white judges and white prosecutors are intimidated by the power of the police unions because they know that these police unions, the FOP, has political leverage that can be used against them on the Republican side. Because, believe you me, 99% of these folks in these police unions are Republicans, my beautiful, intelligent, black brothers and sisters. They're not Democrats. They're not liberals. They are Republicans. And the police unions have become so powerful until they are likened to a parallel of the NRA. Do you know how powerful the NRA, the National Rifle Association, is? All politicians on both sides of the aisle, I don't care if they're Democrats or Republicans, they are terrified of the NRA. They know that the NRA can garner political power, leverage against them and prevent them from winning an election. And to these narrowly focused, low info, low cognitive ability. White politicians winning an election is everything, and they will do anything to remain in that political, powerful position that they have. These fraternal order of police, so-called unions, fake as unions, have just as much power, political influence, as the National Rifle Association. And these local mayors, these governors, these white boys, the mayors, the governors, the city council people, prosecutors, judges, all of these white folks are terrified of police unions just as they are terrified of the National Rifle Association. They have given these police unions that much power, and these police unions take that power and use it against the mayors, the local politicians, the county commissioners, the state governors that have given them the power to do so. They are intimidated by the FOP, just as they are intimidated by the National Rifle Association. That's what I have on this one. Please go to the thrasherway.libsyn.com. There you will gain access to all that I do.